Hello, everybody. Dr. Rick Wallace dropping in on you. I hope everybody's having an awesome week. I'm excited. There's so much going on in the way of personal development, personal advancement. Hope everybody's having an awesome. There we go. Um, there's so much going on. I'm excited about what's going on. Personally, I'm excited about what's going on in my with my businesses. It's been a very long, tough haul. Things are starting to finally come together. I'm also excited about the work that I'm doing in the community. I know that some of you guys remember I had to make an announcement at the end of last year that I would have to reel in and cut back on some of the programs that we and services we offer simply because the resources weren't there. And we're still struggling in that area, but I am pushing forward and doing things that I am capable of doing with the sole goal of, in mind, of empowering my people in as many ways as my expertise will allow me to do. I'm, and that leads me to why I'm here. For those who've been following me for a while, you're aware that while we're on book number 23, book number 24 is about a week out, just so you know. And I know people are like, well, how do you do that? I was writing more than one at one time. Um, I push. That's my passion. Writing, speaking, and reading are my passions. But those of you who've been around long enough know 6 years ago or so, I wrote this book. This is book number 16. This is The Miseducation of Black Youth in America. Um, and the research that continued after that has led to the upcoming book, which is Academic Apartheid Against Black Boys. And one of the things that I discovered within that is why I'm here to share with you today is the special education disproportionality among Black boys, how Black boys are referred for special education assessments and assignments at a rate much higher than white boys, and some of the things that happens. I wrote about it in the Miseducation of Black Youth, but I have done uh, more extensive research, taken some time to come up with some solutions. So while we're waiting to actually get the book out, I produced and published a research summation uh, combo parent guide for parents with Black children in public education in the US, especially Black males. But this applies to our Black daughters as well. But definitely, if you have a Black son, you want to get this guide. Um, hey, Regina, how's everything going? Hey, B Blaze. Um, it has been quite a journey in this research. It helps me understand young Black males. There are some champions out there that are on the war path and standing up for our young Black males. Dr. T. Hassan Johnson, Dr. Tommy. Um, wow, man, as much as I call his name, it'll come to me and I recite it. But um, some top scholars who are really putting research in to get you to understand. Dr. Tommy Curry. Um, these gentlemen have put a lot of work into telling the story of the Black male and the Black male plight. It is easy for us, and it has Black men have become low hanging fruit when it comes to blaming and finding someone to aim at and take, and blame and layer thing. And my thing is, anyone who knows me and follows me knows that I have been uh, the foremost champion for challenging men to rise up and live at the level of their design, Black men specifically. I have been very, very intensely critical of some of our behavior, but don't think for once that I'm not aware of why we are how we are and what we're up against. There's all these different places that everyone else can go and express their frustration. There are all these places that everyone else can go and people understand their plight. The thing is, we must understand that our black men are targeted as black boys in an academic system that is designed to alienate them and push them away. And what happens then is it raises the dropout rate. The dropout rate is directly correlated with the incarceration rate. And you see how that works. We have got to understand something. One of the things that I discovered was this high rate of referrals for Black males to special education. And it's not surprising when we understand the dynamic of public education. When we understand that even in Black school districts or schools where Blacks are the predominant population, that the teacher population is going to be more 50 to 60% white middle-aged females who have no understanding of Black culture, no understanding of the Black situation, of the plight, and no empathy. They're there. Many, especially in this culture, in this age, in this era, are there to collect a check. It's not their passion. It's not what they love to do. And even so, they have a preconceived notion of who Black males are. The media has done a great job of painting us as criminal minded, inherently violent. And literally, I have found in my studies that white female teachers are afraid of little Black boys as early as 5 years old. Kindergarten kids will put them in a place of discomfort. And their first idea, anytime that there's any challenge, isn't to work with the kid and work with the parent. It is to refer the kid out for assessment for special education, because it has to be something wrong with the kid. The kid may be suffering from oppositional defiant disorder. The kid may be suffering from ADHD, ADHD. The kid may be suffering from some form of learning disability. But whatever it is, they need to be referred to special education. You got to also understand in this special education hustle that that schools get more for special education students, and sometimes 2 to 3 times more. The average student is worth approximately $8,000 to their school or school district. The average special education kid is worth between 16 and 24,000. So you can understand the need to push the hustle. Now, here's the thing: even for kids who are in need of assistance in doing this, you got to realize that even those who are actually in need of some type of special program rarely get it at the level they deserve it, because what happens in these schools, especially when you get to high school, but even early on, is those dollars are redirected to other programs. They're redirected to other needs. And when you get to high school, it's normally redirected towards the sports programs. Schools are spending special education funds for new uniforms, for a bunch of other things that go with sports. Why? Because sports is what keeps schools in the element of additional funding, tickets, and all that stuff like that. And so, what I decided to do was to come back and follow up on the miseducation of Black youth in America with this next book, which is Academic Apartheid Against Black Boys and More. Um, and in the meantime, in the meantime, I wanted to present to you um, this special education disproportionality research summation, along with the parent guide on how to help your child in this situation. One of the things I can tell you immediately is don't readily give consent for your child to be assessed. They cannot assess and assign your kid a special education tag without your approval. You want to get second and third opinions that are independent of the school psychologists. And you want to do that first, because if you allow them to assess it, it will be difficult to get that tag off your kid. And you want your child to have every opportunity. A lot of times, these school districts and these teachers aren't willing to look at alternative methods of teaching because not every child learns the same. You got to look at the European system of education that is used in public schools in America is roughly the 12th best at best in the world. It's horrible. It's not good. Where we're getting the most out of our students is in alternative learning, alternative teaching, alternative environments and concepts, getting students moving more, getting students listening to music more, getting students to be more responsive to their right side, their creative side, their imagination, than they are to the more constructive and rational reasoning side, which determines limits and boundaries and barriers, which is the left side of the brain. So much is going on. We need to all be aware of that so that we know how to approach it. We also need to be aware of how our child learns. Why? Because we can communicate that to the teacher, that they don't respond well to A, B, C, D, but what they do respond well to is blah, blah, blah. And in that sense, that's what goes on. What I have done is I have put the link to get the book. The digital version of this book is available now. You can get it and it'll be emailed out to you the same day that you purchase it. Uh, I would suggest get it and share it with as many people as you want. This is something that's so important, and I don't see it done on a great scale. I've seen some work sporadically, but we are not focusing on protecting our boys at a time and place where they're very vulnerable and they're trying to discover who they are. And we already have an issue with the absence of 1.5 million Black men in the community that would be great for the purpose of modeling. So they're absent of an identity in many cases. They're searching for one. And the first true impact outside of the home along the lines of identity is you're dumb, you're slow, you got behavioral problems. This is being inculcated into their psyche as early as 5 years old. Not to mention that they're introducing psychotropic drugs into the equation. Psychotropic drugs, and we're talking about Schedule II psychotropic drugs: Ritalin, Vyvanse, Concerta, um, Adderall. All of these that will sit up and cause all type of things. Highly addictive and highly psychotropic, and they put your kid in a trance. And yes, they'll be still, they'll be less disruptive. But are they truly learning? Or are they just simply not in the way and no longer disruptive? It's our responsibility to do something about that. And so, like I say, I want you to share this video. I want you to support it. Look, $10 is what this is going off to. And man, everybody's calling. $10 is what's the cost for the digital copy. I don't know what I'm going to price the book at when it's released, but I'll let you know. But nevertheless, I just wanted to get that out there. I thank you guys for stopping in and showing your love. Thanks for stopping in, Regina. We need to talk soon. Everybody else, it's been great, but I'm about to